is up, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Mike. I am a full-time used book reseller. His name is Nico. He's also a full-time used book cat feline reseller as well. So today's video is going to be another one of our basically how-to videos. So he's sitting here burping in the video. This cat has no manners for nothing going on around here. So today's video, we're going to go over your automated Amazon settings. So it's very important that everybody goes in, takes a look at these settings. We went over them yesterday on the weekly YouTube member Zoom call. That was super fun hanging out with you all. John, Jamie, Joanne, we sat there we wound up spending well over an hour just sitting there talking, and we went. J's. Yeah, all the J's. That's weird. So if you guys are interested in the weekly Zoom calls, you can just become a member to the channel, and the link is in the description. So we covered this. We got all their stuff situated, but I wanted to go over it with basically for everybody because it's super important as a media seller. So we're going to be going over the automated long-term storage settings and the ASINs with no sale. So I'm gonna hop over to the computer and I will talk to you all when I get over there. All right, so we are at your Amazon Seller Central on your computer. I'm not sure if you can do this on mobile. I always prefer doing any kind of settings on your actual basically desktop or laptop computer. So what you want, like how to get there, we're gonna get there first and I'll kind of explain it. So you wanna go to your settings. This may look different depending if you're on Mac, if you're just on a normal PC, it can change. So you want to go to Fulfillment by Amazon. So this has basically all of your Amazon like automated settings. So you see here, like you can have your default who labels, who preps. So if you don't have that, you can edit it and make sure you're always doing the labeling and prepping. That'll save you money. Don't be lazy. It adds up basically when you're sending in a box of 1,000 or 100 items. You labeling it and prepping it is going to be a lot cheaper than having them do it. So you just keep scrolling down here. So this is what we're looking for here. So you have your automated unfulfillable settings. So what is that? That just means items that are returned by the customer that are damaged. So you can set this up automatically to basically, if they get something back and it's damaged, you can have them liquidate it, return it, whatever, basically whatever works for you. So I have mine set up so I don't have to go in and do it myself. Liquidations, return, once a month on the 1st, so that automatically does it, and they'll email you whenever they do like a removal order. Basically that's what this is. So the more important one is this one here, the automated fulfillable inventory settings. So you have your long-term storage removal settings where you can set it up so they automatically remove your books and items after, well, once they get to the point of long-term storage, which is basically 365 days. I have that disabled. I'd rather go in myself and see exactly what hasn't sold and create the removal order myself, and I'll do that later in this video just so you guys can kind of have a little bit of a refresher of how easy it is to do. And then the more important one that they just added is automated removal of ASINs with no sale. So if you click on it, it kind of gives you basically a description of how it works. So they put this in because Amazon doesn't want things sitting in the warehouses basically. So if you have an item that hasn't sold in 6 months, this is where this kicks in. So if it hasn't sold in 6 months, and we all know some of these long tail books and DVDs and CDs we're selling, it could take, 9-10 months for some of this stuff to sell. So if you have this enabled, which a lot of people seem to have enabled because it's something brand new, and I think they'll automatically enable it for everybody, then if your book is sitting there, it's got an E-score of 3 and it doesn't sell within the 6 months, if you have this set up incorrectly, they're going to basically destroy your book or send it back to you. So imagine having a lot of books sitting there and the 6-month mark comes and all of a sudden you get a removal order and they're destroying, 100 books, 150 books. Six months is reasonable on their end. I understand why they want to do it. But as media sellers, 6 months is only half the time basically I would allow something to sit before I get rid of it. So you want to make sure you can just click out of that description and you can just click on edit and it'll just take you right to the page, and all you have to do is just enable or disable. So I disabled mine right away when I got the email because it's not going to work for media sellers. Some items are just slow movers and they take longer to sell. So it's very important you go in and you make sure your settings are correct with these. You want them both disabled, and I'll show you exactly how you can figure out how long your books have been sitting there and how I do it. And you definitely want the one disabled with 180 days. It just doesn't make sense to get rid of something after 6 months when we're selling media. For other items, it might make sense, but for us as media sellers, definitely want to have that disabled. So let's go in and let's take a look at the inventory, and let's create a quick removal order for items that have been sitting there for longer than a year, which you pay long-term storage fees on, which is a lot more than the normal storage fees. So the way I do it here, you go into manage inventory. Now we want items that are active. We don't want ones that are none available, we sold, inactive. So we go to active, and you see here, it lets you sort basically by any of these columns. So I just sorted by date created. We know today is the 25th, so we click on that. So now it takes us all the way back. So now you see we are at February 2021. So what you want to do is you want to come through and select all the ones that are basically over a year old. These are ones we're paying long-term storage fees on. Now there's always going to be books that just never sell. And you see here, like, the prices on these are basically my rock bottom. So people are selling this, you know, $5, under $5. So these books just don't sell. I mean, and that's the reality of selling media. A lot of it's going to sell, and a good chunk of it won't sell. That's why you have to do this in large quantities and kind of send in as much as you can, so you basically counteract this. So you just want to keep going through. We're almost to the end of March, and when you do this, it also creates inventory space. So if you're sitting at the restock limit, for some reason you're stuck at 1,000, when you remove these, it's going to free up more inventory space for you to send in. So we just keep on going down here. We want to get to basically today's date. And another good reason why you want to do it manually is you kind of can see what books haven't sold, so you can be on the lookout and make sure you don't buy the same ones again. And you see that the ranks here on a lot of these slow movers, they just haven't sold, or when they did, it was merchant fulfilled. So we'll just keep on going down. All right, we are up to April 16th. 17th, 23rd. We'll do till the end of April, since it's basically the end of April now. I would recommend going in probably once a month just to see what you got going on. All right, we're at May 1st. So we have 47 books that haven't sold within the year. So, I mean, it's not terrible considering we sold thousands. So you just want to hit create removal order. Yes, continue. And this is where it just walks you through the steps, and you'll have your return address and everything like that. And then once you're done with that, you are good to go. It's that simple. So hopefully this video helps some of you out. Make sure you have those options disabled. We can do that ourselves. We basically don't want Amazon touching any of our stuff. We can handle our own business. So as always, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more used book videos. Bye-bye.